What up, everybody, and welcome to Baz on Blades. My name is Baz, and I talk about blades, and I think you guys can see in front of you is a slide from a pistol, so we're probably not going to talk about blades. Not tonight, guys. What we're going to do tonight is showcase the new factory night sights that are available for the Taurus G3, G2c, and TX22. Now, let's bring the packaging in for these. Forgive the glare. It is very shiny packaging. What we've got here are the custom firearm sights made by Ameriglo for Taurus to fit these pistols. Actually fit them. Not a sight set that might fit them or may not fit them or whatever. And I can tell you right now, they pretty much fit just like the factory sights. That said, I did not do the install on camera. I did attempt it, guys. I'm sorry for that. It was just insanely awkward to deal with these itty-bitty set screws and all of this stuff because I'm reaching around a camera mount. You don't see that, but I have to reach around that and do everything, manipulate tools and all these little parts, and I'm about blind as a bat, so I couldn't even see what I was doing, guys. So I just went ahead and did it. I'm going to run you through any issues that I saw. Now, first, we're going to take a look and compare the sights. I'm just going to sort of get this lodged in here on the dovetail, this rear sight. Oh my goodness, guys, this is so awkward. So you can see that the sight picture is pretty much the same. The sights are the same shape. You see the rear notch is wider on the new sights rather than the factory sights. The factory sights are a little lower profile, probably about 1 millimeter. So we're getting those sights up a little bit, and to me that makes them a little faster to acquire. I can differentiate the sights from the top of the slide a little bit better when they're a little taller. And I did think that the factory sights on the G3, even though I love the sight picture, they were very low. I don't think that affected my shooting, just shooting targets, but for fast target acquisition, I think they could have been a little higher. So that's what we get in these sights. The same side profile. You can see the sights pretty much look the same. They pretty much look the same. The old sights in plastic, the new sights in steel. Again, made by Ameriglo. They are tritium sights. The front sight, let's bring out the factory front sight here, and you're going to see a huge difference right here. All right, look at the difference in that sight. Taller, longer, wider. It is a bigger sight. Both of these sights are a little higher, but they keep the overall factory look, and they fit very well. Now, G3s, the front sight goes on like a Glock sight. There is a set screw on the inside. You've got to unscrew. Then the sight basically just falls out. It's got a little shelf on the bottom side of it that fits into a cut in the slide. You put it on there. Clean everything with alcohol, first of all, to clean off any residual mess that would interfere in your thread sealing on it. Then the set screw, you're going to hit it with a little blue Loctite, not too much, just a drop on it, and then you run that back up through there, with the light, and it's black on black on black down in there, guys. I apologize for that, but it's just a set screw that goes right through here. You're going to have a thin tool to fit down through here, but you have a straight shot to it. You don't have to worry about going at an angle, which is very important with very small hardware. The hardware, I reused the factory screws, even though these do come with a set of screws. I reused the factory screws. You will have to do that. The screw that they supplied for the front, the head's not big enough, and it actually would come through the hole in the slide. So there was no shoulder, not enough shoulder on that screw head to even clamp. I don't understand that, but I reused the factory screws. You can see they have a wide head on them. They are T8, the same screw front and back. So once you get that tightened down and you get it all lined up straight, what I did was this. I went with my blue Loctite. Now, I'd already put some on the screw, okay, just a drop, just enough to feel the threads, not too much. Then I came back and I went right down in this through hole on top. That's the end of the screw you see in there. I went right on top of it with a drop of blue Loctite. I let it seep down into the threads just a little bit. Came back with a rag and wicked out the excess. So you can see there's no great excess, only what went down into the first few threads. I did the same thing on the bottom. Once I tightened everything up, and guys, I wish I could get that on the camera better for you. I don't have a flashlight in here. Anyway, I did the same thing on the bottom, wicked off the excess. I'm letting it set up. It is very important on a set of sights like this. Let that Loctite set for 24 hours. Do not take this out and shoot it. That set screw is the only thing that holds that sight in there. The only thing. There is no dovetail. I much prefer dovetail front sights over this type of mount. I think this is really probably one of the weakest mounts that you can use. That's why, you know, I put Loctite on the threads of the screw. I dribbled some Loctite in the top. I put some Loctite on the bottom. You know, I want that to not come out under the abuse of this slide cycling during firing, because it's an explosion, guys. It's a contained explosion propelling that projectile out of the barrel. The rear sight. Now, the factory sight slides off from right to left and then goes back in from left to right, all right? As soon as I took out the set screw for the factory sights, I could just flick them out. They came right out, guys. The secondary set of sights, the replacement tritium sights, they went back in with finger pressure. They were tighter than the plastic factory sights, but not so tight that I had to bring the pusher in, and I had it all out and ready for you guys too. So I just went in there and I eyeballed it, and it looks like, guys, I have got it perfectly centered. What thing you need to do on your rear dovetail sights is this. Clean that dovetail with alcohol. Clean the mating surfaces of your sights going in with alcohol. Then you take your blue Loctite, and for the leading edge of the dovetail, you put a drop up at the front of the dovetail and a drop at the back. Then, when you push your sight on, the leading edge of the sight will broadcast that Loctite across the dovetail. And that will help your set screw to hold that sight in. Then again on the set screw, a drop of Loctite, put it in, tighten it down, and leave it. Leave it, guys. Please. These types of sights they need that Loctite, that thread sealer to set and cure. And again, blue Loctite, blue Loctite, blue Loctite, blue, 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 like a fish in the ocean blue, guys. Do not use red Loctite on it. So, this is what you end up with. And the shiny that you see around, that is probably Loctite, guys. And I'm not going to clean it off. It won't hurt anything, and it'll wear off with time. And I don't care if it's got a little bit of shininess on it. I'll just leave that on there rather than coming back with some alcohol. I don't want to take the chance of seeping alcohol up under anything into the Loctite that I want to bond. So I'll just leave that. No big deal. It's not too much excess. It's just what got rubbed around while I was manipulating the sights. And there you go. That is our replacement sights. Let's take a look at our sight picture. Now, that is a much larger notch on the rear, and it is, again, a bigger front sight. But it gives you more light on either side of that sight, guys. I wonder if we can get this to focus here. Well, we're not going to get to focus that way, guys. Anyway, it's a very bright orange. I know the lights are sort of blowing that out, guys. It is a very bright orange. No problem at all focusing on that. In fact, I did the same thing with the factory sights that just had a white dot. I went back with my orange, neon orange modification, and you can see it's pretty much the same thing. It's a neon orange. Neon orange. Now, the Ameriglo Spartans do have the focal ring on the front around the tritium vial. It's a green tritium vial. On the rear, again, just a couple of plain tritium vials. I know you're seeing a big reflection off of those rings around the vials. They do not stand out that much. You get on the glass, you get the sort of reflective, sort of white look, and they're not really white. There's no color in there at all. It's just the light reflecting off of it. Again, so there's your sight picture on those aftermarket factory replacement parts from Taurus. I bought these directly from Taurus on their website, about $80 for the set, and I'm very happy so far with what I've got. So let's put this pistola back together, and we will slide our barrel in. We will put our dual captive recoil spring in there and get it centered. And then all we have to do is line up and slide the slide on. Cycle that, guys, and we are good to go. I forgot I had the magazine in there. That's why it locked back. So let's just drop that out so we can manipulate this thing, guys. You know what? I am super impressed with this pistol. I cannot wait to do the tabletop review. So there you go. You can tell those sights are a little bit bigger. But I'm going to tell you right now, that is much improved. Much improved. Oh, yes. Those are definitely taller, guys. I am looking through them right now. They are definitely taller. So much improved right there. I think we can see, obviously, that they are larger sights. So we got the review on this G3 coming up. And I did want to do these sights before that. I really wanted to get some holster options in, but the holster makers, they're just not, they're not up to date on this pistol. They need to get in and get their molding pistols for this in the G2c and start making those holsters, because these pistols sell like crazy. They are extremely popular, and there is a reason. There is a reason this pistol is so damn good. It is so good. I love everything about this pistol. I don't even mind the manual safety on it. I know that it kills some of the sales because nobody wants a manual safety. I wish Taurus would offer this with no manual safety. Not that I care about it, but it would open up the sales on this pistol for those that can't be bothered with a manual safety because I don't even know why. I don't even know why. The way people talk online, if you've got a manual safety on your firearm, there's no way you can use it to defend yourself, ever. You're going to die if you've got a manual safety, because apparently when you pull your pistol out, and I've never been in a gunfight, but in a gunfight, when you draw your pistol, if there is a manual safety, it typically lengthens the time of your draw to target acquisition from 1.5 seconds to 2 seconds up to 3.5 to 4 hours. That's how long it takes, apparently, according to the internet, to draw a firearm and disengage a manual safety, because every comment that you hear is manual safeties will get you killed. Manual safeties will get you killed. The more you got to do when you draw your firearm, the better chance you have of getting killed. Good Lord, guys. people been using firearms with manual safeties on them for a long damn time. And a lot of those people lived. You know, they like defended themselves or used them in actual war. How many times was the 1911 used in war? Enough to where it generated a hell of a reputation for the 1911 and the 45 ACP. I mean, obviously, the users were not being killed all the time because of a manual safety. But, I mean, whatever floats your boat. I'm not here to tell you what to like or not to like or anything like that. I'm just here, you know, just talking a little bit about this pistol. I wish I could have done that install, guys, but it's so simple. It is so simple. I didn't even need the pusher for this. It's all in cleaning it, using your Loctite, making sure your set screws are tight, and letting it sit for 24 hours to cure the Loctite. Please, please let that Loctite cure. You will be much happier with this pistol, with those sights and the longevity that they have, I am sure. So, what do you guys think about these? I know I'm totally losing that orange here in the picture. I know I am. I don't know, guys. It's just a lot of glare from the lighting that I use. Anyway, so what do you think? What do you think? Keeps the factory look. Is a little bit taller and a little bit bigger and a little more oriented to combat self-defense shooting roles. I'm very happy that they went with this profile of sights as far as copying what the Spartan operators do. I don't really want white rings and everything on my back dots. Just the reflection off of the glass of the tritium vial is plenty enough right there to differentiate those dots in a lighted situation, which I don't use the dots so much. I'm using the the light on either side of the front blade through the rear notch. But I don't know. I mean, I like these. I like them a lot. Yeah. I'm liking those. I don't know how to get that to focus on the front side. Honestly, I don't know whether I can do that or not, guys. No, I guess not. Anyway, another crappy video from Baz on Blades. So, guys, if you got any questions about these sights, I think that these pistols are popular enough that this is going to be a very popular option. A great sight picture, a little bit taller and bigger sights, but still with the factory aesthetic to fit that look. Now, I know you guys that your one-hand manipulation where you've got to have a ledge on the rear sight because you might get, one arm might be incapacitated in a gunfight and you just can't do it. And you see all these, I have seen the craziest shit on YouTube. I have seen people train people to take their pistols and lodge the sights up against a fence post and rip. Guys, I mean rip that damn slide. And they're like shearing off their sights and breaking their sights and stuff. And I'm like, what in the hell is wrong with you people? Have these instructors ever been in a gunfight before? Baz on Blades has never been in a gunfight, and he knows not to rip his sights off. And I'm going to tell you right now, Baz on Blades' best friend, Dan the Man, lost his right hand and part of his right arm to a mortar incident in training in the Army. He doesn't even have two hands. And he can manipulate the slide on a semi-auto. So everybody that's training you to do stupid shit like that is full of crap, because I've seen somebody, a disabled veteran, he doesn't even have his hand, and he was right-handed. Dan was right-handed. He lost his right hand. All right? He can manipulate a semi-auto one-handed. He doesn't have to put his sights on something and rip it against them. That is the most foolish crap. half of the things that you see on YouTube are so damn foolish. It's just trendy crap to get you to buy more stuff. Anyway, guys, I don't want to preach about it. I want to talk about these sites a little bit. I don't know what else to say. I don't know what else to say, guys. Let's see if we can we put this in here some fancy way where it's going to lean up really nice, and screw it. That's the best we can get. Well, I didn't get to do the install for you guys. I apologize for that. Maybe one day when I've got a different camera set up, I can get that done. And I think that we're going to close out the test session on this pistol at 900 rounds. I'm not going to bother with the 1,000 rounds on it. It's been absolutely flawless. Absolutely flawless, with zero issues of any kind. No issues. I honestly, most people that buy this pistol will probably not put 1,000 rounds through it in the entire lifetime. The entire time they own the pistol. Most people that go buy a gun, they don't even test the gun. They never shoot it. I know people that have bought brand new firearms. They buy one box of ammunition, they take it home, they put it in the sock drawer, and it sits there for 30 years till they die, and their kids find it, and the doggone thing is rusted shut. That is how average people have firearms. They don't shoot thousands and thousands and thousands of rounds through their firearms to prove they're trustworthy. No manufacturer recommends 1,000, 2,000 round to break a gun in. Most of the time, break-in period is the first 250 rounds. Anything beyond that is just, components that break. Springs break. Sometimes springs break. Springs are sort of particular about how they're made, and sometimes a bad one will get through, guys. Come on. It's a spring. We all know springs are wacky. I'm not worried about this gun, so I think we're going to move into getting ready to do the tabletop. We'll pull in some targets of my crappy shooting just to show you what this gun can do in my hands, which is admittingly not near as good as what it can do in other people's hands, but it is what it is. I love this pistol. I don't even care how much it cost. I'm not going to say it's great for the money. It's just a great little pistol. All right. So we'll get that together maybe here in the next week. Get the tabletop ready. You guys have seen the new factory sights. I will put a link for the sights in the description section of this video, and I will pin it in the first post. As always, guys, thank you very much for taking the time to watch one of my videos. God bless all of you, and we will talk to you again.